Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
And hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson with an update for you. If you're in New Rockford, storms approaching your area with some significant hail, the strongest of which is just off to the east of town, but wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing some in town that's pretty, well, very large. We do have another cell developing out of the warned area. We'll keep you up to date with the latest right now. And we're going to start with the radar. I'll have some other uploads that folks have shared on hutchesweather.com. But for now, severe thunderstorm warnings are continuing. They've extended this all the way down to the lower left-hand side of the county there as you look into Benson County. So Maddock, this storm is on your doorstep. Here's the good news. The areas of pink have diminished, but that really doesn't mean too much here lately until we see more of a diminishing, because they do that. They pulse up, they pulse back down. Nathan, good to have you on board. If you're in Maddock, strong storms, severe storms with the capability of 1-inch diameter hail moving in your general direction. 60-mile-per-hour gusts can't be ruled out also. And because of their very slow movement, this is going to bring some very heavy rain to the area right now. Devil's Lake has cooled off into the 60s after temperatures soared into the 80s. Now, down near New Rockford right now, you see this 2-inch hail tag on this storm. It's right over or near town. So here is the town. Here is the hail core skirting the right side of New Rockford. That'd be the east side of town on Highway 15 there. It just crossed Highway 15. Would love to know what you're seeing there. Hi, Simon. Good to have you on board. Thanks so very much for tuning in to Hutch's Weather today. Severe thunderstorm warning is about to expire in this area, but this cluster of storms is actually intensifying. And look at this nonsense over here, just off to the left. That's a new cell that's firing up, and it's fixing to mosey into Bremen. And when it does, it's going to bring a shot with some significant hail potential over 1 inch in diameter to Bremen, and that is in Wells County. So we do have a storm that has just formed just now outside of the warned area, and it is possible that that storm could produce some significant hail as well. So if you're in the Wells County area, mainly off to the east of Highway 52 and north of the bend in Highway 52, that storm is quite strong to severe. These are moving in the general direction of you folks in Carrington as well, where the National Weather Service out of Bismarck has just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for 1.25-inch diameter hail and 60 mile-per-hour winds. This is in effect for the next hour as those storms move through. Andrew's sharing a report, a very brief hailstorm in New Rockford, maybe 30 seconds, P or smaller. Thank you, Andrew. I will pass that along. That should go to the National Weather Service forecast office folks there in Grand Forks. I do appreciate that. Here we go. Pardon me while I go ahead and pass along this helpful information to folks in the National Weather Service. And Andrew, it does look like if you know anybody with crops on the east side of town there, that's the area that could have really gotten some significant size hail. Report in New Rockford. Okay, so there we go. Thank you. I just wanted to pass that along to the National Weather Service fast and so that they could get the information out. Now, here is a look. Thank you, Dan, very much. It's appreciated. You're sharing stars with me. Now, let's look at these storms. These are diving into air down here that hasn't been bothered today all day. It's just been sitting here twiddling its thumbs. It's hot air, it's humid air, and this is what's going on. Now, the storms up north of and near the Leeds area did produce a funnel cloud today, and on Hutch's Weather and on hutchesweather.com. I shared this with you moments ago, but let me take you to that screen right now and show you that on Hutch's Weather's website here, when you refresh it right now, my update will show up at the top of the page. It'll let you know, hey, Hutch is live right now covering storms in the New Rockford area. Now, you go down to the south just a little bit on the page, go down, you can track the storms yourself with the interactive radar. You can see that area of pink that's just continuing to glide through eastern North Dakota. That cluster of storms does look like it's making a line toward the Stutzman County area. I'll keep you posted on that. Now, when we slide down a little bit more, you can see the latest videos that have been updated rather, and including the video on a funnel cloud that was updated. Now, here, well, if you're a business, you can, well, always advertise with Hutch's Weather. Your logo can go right there. contact Hutch Johnson for details on that. Now, you can also upload your photos. When we click on the photo section here, here is what we have, and this is over the Leeds area. Thanks so very much to Jim. Now, Jim's account of this event was that funnel cloud made its way all the way down to the tree line. He never noticed it touched down at all, but that was a fairly stout-looking and wide funnel cloud that worked its way over the Leeds area on the far left or west edge of this line of storms as it worked its way through. So this is, again, what it looks like on radar, and the Leeds area, just so you're aware, right up here. So as this thing hooked its way through, there was a funnel cloud spin up right off to the east of Leeds, about 1 mile, as Jim reported. Thanks, Jim, for your report. That storm's now moving in on the Maddock area. Is it still spinning? Let's take a quick peek at the velocities with the storm. And we're still seeing some very weak evidence of some spin near the Maddock area. There is a little bit of spin in the cells that are off not far from Minnewaca, and it's pretty unorganized. Down near New Rockford, however, do you see the bright red colors here? This means two things, and it's a long ways from the radar. And because it's a long ways from the radar, and the radar goes up like this, you're looking high in the cloud, and the radar is measuring winds high up in the cloud that are quite strong. Let me show you how strong the wind is with regards to this storm. Now, the green dot over behind Hutch here means that this is being measured from the Mayville area. So that means this wind that's red is blowing away from Mayville at a clip of 55 miles per hour. Now, this is a 55 mile per hour moving this way. There's some wind moving this way. So this is what we would call spin or shear in this storm. So what would cause the wind to blow this way when the line is moving that way? Spin up in the clouds. So there is some air being brought up into the cloud that's warm, superheated, nice, warm, humid air that we have in the area. And that is blasting around the area here at about 50 miles per hour. Now, when the storm rises, creates hail, and collapses, it can create wind gusts, but those winds are moving across the beam this way from north to south. Okay, so the radar in Mayville cannot measure the winds that are going north to south. It can only measure the wind going toward the radar or away from the radar. So it can only measure stuff that's going east and west. So that's a little radar lesson here, but what I am telling you is it's measuring some pretty stout winds going away from the radar here and towards there. Still some spin as this puppy moves towards Carrington. Now, as we've done throughout the day, I want to go ahead and take a look at the ND, North Dakota Department of Transportation cameras. We do have some not far from where these storms are making their way through. Now, here's the Fessenden area. There is some storms off to the west and north of there. It just looks like dark skies. It's just a little bit too far away to see too much from that. But staring into the mouth of the storm here, we do have the Bowden area, and those storms are heading in your general direction. You can certainly see the dark skies from there. Now, as we look down a little bit closer to Carrington, north of Jamestown, how about New Rockford? We got a camera right there. The storms have and are moving out of New Rockford. There was some small hail in town, but just off to the east of town, it looked like the hail signature on the radar was much larger. So this is along the Highway 281 corridor. As you look toward New Rockford there, you can certainly see the dark skies and the abundant amount of rain that has fallen with the storms that have made their way through those areas. So severe storms rocking their way through parts of eastern North Dakota and the Devil's Lake Basin. And I do have to share with you that I'll continue to keep you updated here. Expect the possibility for sizable hail moving south of New Rockford right now, heading into the northern reaches. So it's exiting out of the New Rockford area, heading towards Grace City and on in toward Carrington. How long will it take to get there? This is moving to the south. Let me get the right radar up here. I'm very sorry. Let's see. This is all diving southward, and it's only moving at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. So as this pink hail core is moving to the south and to the southwest, according to that radar scan, it's basically moving south. That whole, oopsie, I think I have too many things turned on my computer here. Let me move this up here so we can see. Now we're going to measure the hail core and its movement towards Carrington at about the 25 mile per hour clip. And here we go. It will be in the Carrington area. It's 7:52 now in 23 minutes or so. So just after 8, between 8:05 and 810. So that should be making its way towards you in Carrington, and the hail size potential is 1 to 2 inches in diameter. So prepare for that as it makes its way to the south and to the east. And it's moving south and to the west at about 20 to 30 miles per hour. So that's the latest from the National Weather Service on that particular storm. And you folks in Carrington should stay away from windows, prepare, and seek shelter in that interior room. Stay away from windows or parts of the wall that have big trees on the north side of the house. That would be a good idea. Those winds will be coming out of the north. And there is some spin in this particular storm. You see that little bite taken out of the storm right there? That would be the area that if we switch this over to velocities, we would look for the reds next to the greens right here. And that's about where we have it. So it's not real tight spin with the radar, but there is indeed some spin there in the area of where we would expect it to be with that particular storm. So hail, number one threat. Flooding, rain's also a threat. Lightning is always a threat with these storms. And again, gusty straight line winds could exceed 60 miles per hour. Hey, tune in a little bit later. I've got some extra content for you here that was shared with me in the Fargo area. Some people not believing what they were seeing. I've got an explanation for you on what it was. Was it a tornado? What was it over the skies of South Fargo today? Was it a tornado? Well, I've got some video to share with you from a loyal viewer. Tony, thank you very much. I'll keep you updated on when that's going to happen. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. Severe thunderstorm warning for Carrington. Severe thunderstorm warning for the Maddock area. The storm's main risk tonight has been large hail, gusty straight line winds to about 60 miles per hour. They pulse up, they pulse down, so not everybody in the warned area will get the large hail. And there's this little renegade cell you see right there that's starting to produce some hail potential, and that is heading right into the town right now of Bremen. If you're in Bremen, if you're in Munster, even though you're not in that warned polygon, you're close enough. And this cell just fired up in the middle of the night. So here you go. That's a look at what's going on. No, the storms do not look like they're going to make their way into the Fargo area. I cannot say it's absolute zero chance because guess what? This whole line that you see here, this faint little line is moving south. Anywhere along that line, we could see a storm fester up. We'll keep you posted right here. You're watching Hutch's Weather. This has been an update. Let me see if I've got any comments from any of you or questions. Send me some rain and haze. And Ryan is looking for haze and showers. Was just through the area yesterday. I'll post a fun picture a little bit later as well. But I know there were some spots out there that looked a little on the dry side. Everyone lucky in my part, Fargo didn't get nothing yesterday. Jeremy says nothing. I had zero rain in my rain gauge in South Moorhead, while just to the west in West Fargo and just south of town, not far from Horace, 1 to 4 inches of rain fell. Don't believe it? Well, thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. Check out hutchesweather.com. Some of you shared your rain gauges with me. Go check it out right now. I'd love to have you on the website, and I'd love for you to fill out the top of the website with your email address so I can send notifications when it's really important to get the message out to you. We'll do that. Thank you so much for sharing stars, Deb. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much, Tracy. Raining again in Lake Brunson. Yep, there's another cell making its way towards you. I guess non-severe, that's the good news. But again, it's just one of those days. Carlstead, you're in the same area there, or the same boat, I should say, with more showers moving through. Oh, man, switching directions again. Jamestown has a bubble over it. Ah, well, it does look like it, but again, just like I said for Fargo, if you see this, this is the main game in town, but it's moving into some very warm and humid air. So I'm not going to say Jamestown doesn't have a chance at seeing this storm. There's definitely a chance. These particular cells right now, if they were going to keep going the way they're going, would be heading right into Medina and Cleveland, maybe Tappan. So we'll keep our eyes on what's happening in Tappan. But right now, we've got Maddock with some hail making its way through. We've got New Rockford with hail exiting. Carrington, the hail's making its way through. That storm does have a little bit of rotation with it. Joanne, good to have you on board as well. That is a look at Hutch's Weather. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so very, very much. We'll keep you posted right here with an update to your forecast. Please join me and pass a word. Join me at 9. Join me at 9 for the live, whether you watch on the website, YouTube, or here on Facebook. Join me at 9. I have another exciting announcement to let you know about. Thanks so very much. Thanks, Bonnie, for watching, and thank you very much. Spiritwood town looks pretty spooky. Yeah, if you look up to the north of you all, it's definitely getting a little on the dark side out there as those clouds are making their way to northern Stutsman County. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. If storms approach your area, prepare for gusty straight line winds and big hail. Put the vehicle in the garage, invite the family inside, and stay away from windows. I would say stay away from the windows on the north side. And if you have a shelter, get to the lowest floor from this storm moving into the Carrington area. That storm does have a little bit of spin to it. Would love to hear your reports right here on Hutch's Weather. And again, I'm going to take a quick peek because I can right here on Hutch's Weather and see if there's been any other very interesting uploads today. It's just been incredible. Take a look. Stay tuned to me here. And as always, please stay safe. I'll have updates again throughout the evening and join me in 1 hour at 9